So this big security conference is about to kick off, and it feels like every year when this happens, it comes amid a new wave of malicious threats on security and growing security budgets. What's different this year?
You know, I think it's another great show here in San Francisco. We've got the whole industry. There's tens of thousands of people here. The cyber crisis continues, and we definitely have a new set of threats that are showing up. And I think it's a testament to the fact that it's ever-changing, and the partners that you pick to help you defend it are really important.
The other big theme that Wall Street is watching around this event is consolidation in the industry, which we've seen a lot of. Cisco made that $2 billion acquisition last year. You guys have been acquisitive. Palo Alto. Are we going to see more of that? And if so, what's driving it?
You know, I think cyber defense is a continuously moving target. There's a bunch of things that should be there for the long haul. At Symantec, you know, we put those things together. We deliver them to you integrated. But what's important is there's a bunch of problems that emerge that are not solved, and it takes a vibrant startup community and investment community around that to address some of those. And so really it's the sum of big cyber investments like we have at Symantec and some of the other big players in the industry, as well as the vibrant startup community. The combination of those things integrated in what we call integrated cyber defense, I think is very important for our customers and partners in really the addressing a bunch of the crisis. Net is it moves all the time, and so there's all kinds of different things that need to happen. You know, the big transition at the moment to cloud, to mobile, new attack surface, new methods of beating people and stealing information, and you know, it's definitely in a very vibrant time for cyber defense.
Greg, it occurs to me, you know, we were just in Barcelona last week for Mobile World Congress, lots of talk about 5G, Internet of Things. In the PC era, you know, there was security software installed on the PCs, and we could feel like we could trust that. In the smartphone era, there were app stores that were supposed to be restricted, and the security applied at that layer. We felt like we could trust that. In the IoT era, there are going to be cameras everywhere, microphones in the home, sensors in the car. Where do we go to actually know whether all of this stuff is secure?
Yeah, so I think the injection of consumer IoT in the enterprise and all through the home is important. What we found in the last couple of years at Symantec, where we've been putting things like our Norton Core product into the home, is the number of resident malware platforms that are in there is substantial. So there is definitely an ever-present threat in the IoT. We're addressing that threat, but I think what people have to also realize, it's not just about antivirus or your PC or your mobile phone endpoint. There is a resident threat in the network now, and many consumers in the world have seen an email from somebody who has their mail password, and so we've got your mail password. Extortion is rampant in consumers, and also even the account takeover on things like Uber is rampant. So I think it's important to protect yourself in the network. Make sure if you're roaming around on other infrastructure, you have a VPN engaged. These are very serious items right now, and we're seeing a lot of threats coming into that space. It's not just on the endpoint, it's also in the network, it's in the IoT, it's in the home. So definitely a different set of solutions required now than what we saw 10 years ago.
Greg, where are the biggest threats coming from? I mean, is it cyber criminals, or is it countries like North Korea or China or Russia that you hear reports of, of hackings?
I think we're always going to see from now on, I think cyber espionage is going to continue. It's been going on for hundreds of years. Now in cyberspace, it will continue in cyberspace probably forever. So big corporations, governments, there's some heavy lifting that needs to be done there. We're very invested in that at Symantec. But then on the consumer side, people at home, smaller businesses, there's definitely an extortion, a ransom crisis going on there. I think the U.S. government has been addressing that with some great support for us around consequences by saying in third world countries, where a lot of these guys are resident, if you don't have cyber laws on the books in a few years, you may face U.S. sanctions. So we're starting to, I think, bring some consequences into that, which is very helpful. But it's in two spaces. There's an organized criminal stealing from people and companies, and then there's a bunch of nation-state activity. I think they're with us for the long haul.